Hey, Northbrook fam, just wanted to give a quick update about this night of prayer we have coming up and what we're going to be praying about, from gathering together, where we gather, how we gather, to the membership process, to the culture of evangelism that we're desiring to see take place and just happen here at Northbrook Church. And what I was blown away by this week was a couple days ago as we were reading through Mark 5. And was just really overwhelmed by Jesus in Mark 5 and how powerful he is. And we see him powerful to cast out demons. And we see someone that was surely written off by everybody that had ever come into contact with him. Like the people in our life that we think, man, they're just too far gone. Maybe we don't say that, but we really believe they're too far gone to really know and trust and come to believe upon Jesus. And Jesus encounters him, and that person comes to follow him. To Jairus, who comes to Jesus desiring for his daughter not to die. And then the woman that kind of interrupts that conversation and touches Jesus and is healed. And then he follows back up with Jairus and brings his daughter back to life. And so as we see Jesus be powerful, so powerful that he can cast out demons, that he can heal just debilitating medical illness, and that he can bring the dead to life. And I say that to start this video off because as we talk about these things, sometimes even in church, we can make these things what church is about, the gathering of God's people is about, instead of gathering around this Jesus from Mark chapter 5. And so all of these things that we're going to pray about, and that's the reason we're praying about them, is because we're like, we need you, Jesus. We need you in the midst of all of this. Would you lead us? Would you guide us? Would you help us remain steadfast and faithful to you? Would you keep us from sinning against you? Would you keep us unified in you and not even our different opinions upon these things? And so that's what we're going to come together on October 6th from 8 to 9 p.m. We're going to gather together and seek Jesus in this way. So we hope you can join us. If you do plan on joining us, we're also going to fast. And so Monday night, October 5th, after dinner, we'll stop eating after dinner, and then we'll break our fast on Tuesday night at dinner, and then we'll start that Zoom call after dinner. And so basically fasting from dinner to dinner, from Monday night to Tuesday night. So if you're physically able and willing to do that, you can join us in that way and be praying for that time and be praying for each other and praying for Northbrook while we fast, and then we can come together and join together in prayer. And so what we're going to be praying about are three things. We're going to be praying about gathering together, what God has for us, what maybe next steps he might have for us. We're going to be praying about the membership process, just that God would move, empower, and work in the midst of that time. And we're going to be praying about evangelism. And so as you consider gathering together, I think it's actually important for us to remember that right now there are guidelines when we gather. You see them, or you maybe haven't paid attention to them in a while, but they're there every time if you register. And I just want to reiterate that going by those guidelines actually makes more people feel comfortable coming to gather. People literally say that when they see guidelines being adhered to, they feel more comfortable coming out. And when they see them not being adhered to, they feel less comfortable coming out. And so whether you think the guidelines are important or not, know that they serve your brothers and sisters who feel more comfortable coming and gathering together as God's people on Sundays when we are going by those guidelines. So I would encourage you, if you haven't looked at those, look at those again, and that registration comes out. And then let's just kind of keep those guidelines are just simply, we're not adding to the guidelines put on us, and we're not taking away from them. Just what the park has asked us to do, that's what we're asking all of us to do. And then really the park is in kind of a holding period. Like if at any point, if the state or the governor would change anything that's going on, in particular the restriction of 99 people coming out, then the park would lift that. And so that just hasn't been lifted yet. So think about that as we gather. And then obviously when we'll pray about what's next. Should we continue to stay at the park? Should we consider coming inside, maybe in an existing church on Saturday or Sunday night? Is there maybe something we're not thinking about, or a place that's available on Sunday morning? But we just don't want to be flippant. We do believe that God has led us to Arcadia Park in this moment, and we want to consider that. We want to think about that, and we want to make sure He's the one leading us away from this. So the survey results that we're gathering are part of that, and part of what we're going to consider, and part of what we believe like God is using to help give us wisdom. But also we just want to seek Him and pray to this Jesus and ask Him to lead us. It's not just about gathering the information and trying to make the best decision. It's about praying for God to lead us and for His Spirit to guide us, trusting He led us here and He will lead us to what He has next for us. That's why prayer is incredibly important. And then praying that the membership process, when many of us have gone through the membership process before at previous churches, so it's not just this box we're ticking or just these things we're going through, but that as we gather to hear the sermons that we've heard, or we catch back up on the sermons, or watch the additional membership video, or for those that will go through meetings with elders, that it will be about who Jesus is and what He's doing, and follow His leading, that He will lead you to join Northbrook, or that He will lead you to wait and not join Northbrook at this point, or He will lead you to go to another church. We'd love to walk with you in any of that and trust Jesus to lead you, but we want to seek Him and cling to Him and ask Him to lead us here and to lead you, and not just be led by our preference or be led by this comfort or that comfort, but led by the God of the Bible. And then lastly, as we're going to come together and pray about evangelism, we want, as we've preached about it a couple weeks ago, as we've talked about it in our community groups, the community group leaders got together and talked about it last night, even as Randy preached on church planting and missions last Sunday. Obviously, evangelism is a part of that. And we want evangelism at Northbrook to be about Jesus. It's so easy for even something like telling people about Jesus to become not about Jesus, and to become about just this guilty thing we feel like we need to be obedient to, this shameful thing that we feel like we're not doing well enough. And we just want to be a place where, man, what does evangelism reveal about who Jesus is to us? Not just how we're doing and talking to other people about Him, but in desiring to do that and seeking to do that. What does it look like for us to believe that Jesus has this kind of power to literally bring the dead to life, but also spiritually bring the dead to life? That the people that we talk to, that it's not our power that's going to save them, but we believe that Jesus has power to save them. So we want to seek Him in that way. As we establish a culture of evangelism, we want it to be that, a culture gathered and surrounded around Jesus in the midst of evangelism, not a culture that is just obsessed with evangelism in this Jesus-less kind of way. And so really excited to just gather together and pray. Excited that we're, in some ways excited that we're doing it over Zoom, so more and more people can join in and be a part of that. And excited just to value and really show what we think about prayer, that it's, we're not, when we gather together just for the purpose of prayer, I think reveals the priority that we place on that. And so Northbrook, we want to be a place that really not just sees the value, but actually lives out of that. And so we get together and pray. And so look forward to gathering with you on October 6th from 8 to 9 p.m.